The Mist Trail in Yosemite National Park is one of my favorite national park hiking trails. So today I'm really excited to share with you 5 tips for hiking the Mist Trail. My name is Ash. I'm a former park ranger and the founder of Dirt in My Shoes. I also think that the best way to see the national parks is by hiking. So you will see me out on the trail all the time when I'm in the parks. And the Mist Trail is a trail that I go back to time and time again. I just love it. It's one of my favorites. So I'm really excited today to share some of my tips for hiking this trail. A lot of people get confused on this trail. A lot of people just don't quite know how far to go, which route to take, what to look forward to. And so I'm going to talk you through that today in this video. And I can't wait because, again, it's one of my favorite trails. Okay, so why do I love this trail so much? It's just you get a lot of bang for your buck on this trail. It is moderately difficult. It's not an easy trail by any means, but if you follow the whole route, you get to go to the top of 2 waterfalls in Yosemite. You get to go up the side of one of them, and so you're getting misted from all the spray. You're getting soaked if you time it right, if you go at the right time of year. And these waterfalls are just magnificent. And so it's really cool to get up close to them. It's really cool to hike on this very unique trail that takes you up the side. It's just really cool all around. You're in the shadow of Half Dome, like you can see Half Dome from parts of this trail. And then you just get those beautiful views as well. I have a full trail guide for the Mist Trail on dirtinmyshoes.com, which I will link below this video. But if you want to get the whole just route, see pictures of the route, see what to expect, the things you need to know, how long, distance, all of that, that is here on this article. So definitely click over to that because this video is going to mostly focus on tips. But if you want to see the route and what to expect, you'll want to take a look at the article. Okay, so let's jump in with tip number 1, which is probably the most important tip that I can give you, and that is to choose the right time of year for hiking this trail. What a lot of people don't realize when they plan their trip to Yosemite is that the waterfalls in Yosemite do start to dry up as the summer goes on. And so you definitely have like a peak time for seeing the waterfalls in their full glory. And for the Mist Trail, if you're hoping to get misted while you hike it, you do want to go when there's enough flow in the waterfalls. Otherwise, you just don't have enough mist. And that's not as fun. It's really fun to get misted. So we like to go typically starting around the end of May usually and into June. Even getting towards the end of June, things will start to dry out a lot. We were actually just there and it was towards the end of June. And it wasn't nearly as misty as it usually is when we hike this trail. And so that's something to keep in mind if that matters to you. If you really want to have the full Mist Trail experience, you are going to want to go earlier in the summer and even maybe a little bit in late spring. The tricky thing about Yosemite is it is a high mountain park. And so if you go too early, you'll hit road closures and stuff like that. There will still be a lot of snow in the high country, but that snow is what feeds the waterfalls. So it does get a little bit tricky there, but I usually find like the 1st and 2nd week of June is kind of the sweet spot if I want to be able to do most things in the park and still get misted on the Mist Trail. Tip number 2 is to start your hike really early. If you followed me for any amount of time, you know I definitely am like going to push you towards getting into the park and getting started fairly early in the morning because a lot of people aren't willing to do that. And it's the best time to be out on the trail. It's the best time to be trying to find parking. And it just gives you more solitude and less stress. So this trail, though, in particular, is extremely popular. And it's popular for a reason. Like I said, I love this trail. Usually I do try to avoid crowds as much as possible, but this trail is worth braving some crowds for. So the tricky thing about Yosemite, again, is that you can't usually park right next to the trailheads. Yosemite Valley has a really extensive shuttle system. And so they have huge parking lots that you park in, and then you take the shuttle to where you need to go to some of those smaller trailheads. So don't plan on being able to park at Happy Isles, which is where this trail starts. You are probably going to be parking in one of those big day use parking lots and then either walking, biking, or shuttling to the Happy Isles trailhead to start this trail. So again, the earlier you can get here, the easier it will be to get parking. Check the shuttle run times. Make sure that you're there kind of for the first shuttle if you can be, and get yourself out there, get on the trail, get up there, get ahead of those crowds so that as you're climbing the stairs next to the waterfall and getting misted, you will feel like you have it more to yourself. The crowds in Yosemite are seriously no joke. So that's why I do have an hour-by-hour Yosemite itinerary. I will walk you through this park and I will help you know which parking lots to park in, which shuttles to take, what time to start, what time to try to be places so that you're not just sitting in traffic or circling parking lots, because that really is what happens in Yosemite for most people. And last time we were on the Mist Trail, it was insane. As we were finishing our hike, you kind of go back down the same way you came up, and there were just people everywhere. For me, that's not very fun. I don't love to hike in the crowds. And so if you're the same way, this tip will help you out a bunch. Okay, so tip number 3 is to wear the right gear. If you're here at the right time, you will get drenched. You will get really wet from this waterfall as you're going up the side of Vernal Fall. You're taking these stairs up. The water is just hitting right below you and then spraying back up on the trail. It's so cool. But because of that, you are going to want to make sure you have some good gear. Primarily just making sure that you have shoes with good traction, because you are hiking up granite steps that are wet from the waterfall spray. And so just make sure you have some good shoes. The other thing is if it's going to be really misty, if we go early enough in the summer, then I do typically bring a rain jacket of some type. Especially if I'm hiking with my kids. They will get whiny and sad and cold. And so just a little bit more of a layer between them and the water tends to make for happier hikers. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, it's just like a regular hike, only you are getting sprayed by a waterfall. Tip number 4 is know your route. So plan in advance. Look at a map, see where you want to go and what you're aiming for. You can always be flexible as you get on the trail and kind of feel it out and decide how far you want to go. But there are several trails that intersect in this area. And I do find when I'm hiking this trail, I've hiked this trail so many times that it's just second nature. I know where I'm going, but a lot of people don't. And there's a lot of confused people wondering which direction to go, which route is the best, what they should do. So look at the map, kind of do your research beforehand so that you're not guessing while you're on the trail. Okay, so for me, looking at the map, and sorry, I can't make this bigger, but hopefully it gives you some sort of idea. So you're starting your hike at Happy Isles and you're gonna follow it up and you're gonna go to the Vernal Fall footbridge, which is kind of the first time that you see the waterfall from this trail. And then you'll go up the side of the trail, the misty part. And so that's this section here where you're kind of going up the side of Vernal Fall, and then it takes you to the top of Vernal Fall. And that's the section you'll get misted on. And then beyond that, if you want to keep hiking, which I highly recommend because it gets you out of the crowds, it gets you more solitude, and it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. Is if you can do more, once you get to the top of Vernal Fall, then you'll keep following the trail up past the Silver Apron and you'll go up to the top of Nevada Fall, which is right here. So you'll kind of go up some switchbacks here. You'll be able to see Nevada Fall really well, but then you'll get to the top here. And then at this point, this is more the part where people start to get really confused if they've gone up this far and they don't know what they're doing, or kind of once they get to the top of Vernal Fall, there's some trails that kind of branch off here that they're like, oh, I don't know what this is, and I'm confused. So once we get to the top of Nevada Fall, what I like to do is actually come around. I'll go across Nevada Fall, and I'll catch the John Muir Trail over here down to Clark Point. And that section of the trail is stunning. It's beautiful. You can see Half Dome. You can see Nevada Fall really well. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Clark Point is really cool view, but you'll get, similar to better views along the John Muir Trail up here. And then from there, you can decide if you want from Clark Point, if you want to bypass the misty part of the trail and just go down to the bottom via switchbacks, then you can do that. I don't like to do that. I like the misty part of the trail. And so from Clark Point, I'll go this direction back to the top of Vernal Fall and then back down the stairs on the misty section of the trail and then just continue back down to your car. So that's my preferred route. But again, you can kind of mix and match. You can play with it depending on how far you want to go and how you're feeling. Which brings me to tip number 5, which is don't let the stairs scare you. So I cannot believe how many people, they will come up, they'll go to the Vernal Fall footbridge, which you can kind of see the waterfall from there. It's fine. But the views definitely get better the higher up you go. The problem being from the footbridge up to the top of Vernal Fall, it's just a whole bunch of stairs and they look really scary because they're steep. It's just walking a whole bunch of staircases. They are misted, that water's coming up on you and stuff. But I can't tell you how many people, like able-bodied hikers, were like, man, no, I don't want to climb the stairs. Like that just looks too hard. Please don't do that. If you can hike and you want to get the full experience, don't let the stairs scare you. Just take your time, enjoy it. Don't push yourself beyond what you're capable of doing, but also push yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit and try something a little bit harder, maybe a little bit different. The stairs section is the coolest section, and a lot of people just turn back because it looks like too much. So go as far as you can, but start climbing those stairs, and I know that you're going to have a great experience. I hike all the time and I still huff and puff up those stairs. They are challenging, but just take your time and enjoy the process and enjoy the views as you get closer to the top of the waterfall. All right, my friend, hopefully that answers your questions about the Mist Trail and hopefully you feel prepared to hike this beautiful and amazing trail. If you need more help, please subscribe to this channel because I have a whole bunch of Yosemite videos for you. I have an hour-by-hour itinerary, which I'll link below this video, and I have a ton of articles and resources that you can get for free on dirtinmyshoes.com. I've got you covered. I am so excited for you to visit Yosemite, and I hope to see you out on the trail.